What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.
Hey, Ballbusters, Bates here with your friend of mine, Ray Mungus, and we're ready to get possessed on episode 30 of Way of Life Live. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Glad to be heard, I think. Am I coming through?
You're coming through.
Fucking A, man.
I know now to make sure everything is working properly and not just assume it's going to work properly before we go live.
Honestly, it wouldn't be the Way of Life Live if we didn't have mess-ups like that. Like, we're just notorious for that. You know, it happens once in a while, and then we sort it out.
Well, what was really funny is as soon as I opened up OBS on the streaming computer, no audio was going through. I was like, what the fuck happened? I was streaming fine last night. What happened from last night to today? And somehow the default output on OBS changed. I don't know how, but I switched it back and it was all happy again.
I swear, I think what was his name? Dick Miller. He was on to something in the Gremlins movie when he said that all these machinery is filled with gremlins. I mean, I honestly think that's what's happening with the OBS situation. Some little gremlins going in there and changing the settings to sabotage our podcast.
Yeah, you know, OBS it's a great it's a great little program because, you know, it's free and it's very user friendly and there's a lot of options with it. Problem with it is though, you know, because it's free, it's a little buggy.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've only used it somewhat, not a hell of a lot, but like I've noticed a little bugs here and there. But I'd say the like benefits outweigh the negatives. So, you know, it works out. It does what we need it to do.
Oh yeah. From a streaming standpoint, it's way. I used to use XSplit, and then I had a code for XSplit Pro, which is like this ridiculously expensive paid version of XSplit, and you get almost nothing extra with the Pro version. I am so happy I had a free code for to try it out for 3 months, but it's awful. You can customize almost nothing using XSplit. It's for people who don't want all the flashiness and all the nice, pretty looking things on the stream. They just want the stream, maybe a webcam, and a chat. That's it.
Yeah, but even then, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of presentation. And if XSplit's as bad as you're suggesting it is, like, I mean, come on, OBS is free. Like, stick with it a little bit, learn how to use it, and you know, you got a decent show to put on.
You know, XSplit was clean and it worked really well in terms of a clean stream, very low delay on it. It worked very well for that. And what I loved about XSplit that OBS doesn't do is, well, it wouldn't even matter for me now anyway since I use two computers. But when I was using XSplit, I was streaming and gaming from the same computer, and XSplit would actually allow this transparent overlay over your game while you're streaming. So on my screen, where I could see the chat, instead of trying to monitor the chat on another monitor, I could actually see it in my game up in the corner. That was the one thing about XSplit that I absolutely loved, and you know, OBS doesn't do that. But again, it doesn't even matter. I have since added a third monitor to my streaming computer setup, so now I have I have 3 monitors to my left and then my big monitor right in front of me. So I have 4 monitors surrounding me right now.
That's absurd. And you know what we're doing again? We're doing the poster talk. People tuning in, and just now we're just geeking out about streaming software. Like, you tuned into the Way of Life Live horror podcast to hear us talk tech shop.
Yeah, but this is kind of how we open up every show. We'll get onto a non-relevant topic and just spurg out about it for 10 minutes.
Pretty much.
So it's just how it goes now. All right. So let's see. What do we got going on? I don't even
We
know.
had a podcast last week, extremely late.
Oh, yeah, we did one Friday. Oh, God, that was like 5 days ago.
I know, like it feels like we just did it, like yesterday or the day before.
Maybe for you. I feel I completely forgot about it.
Oh, that's how you think of our time together.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Oh man, the dream team is breaking up.
Yeah, I completely forgot that we did the episode on Friday. That's yeah, we did.
Yeah, like we were caught off guard because last Wednesday, like none of us realized it was 4th of July, and we're just like, oh, we're gonna have a podcast, our first one back in our normal time slot, and then we realized it was a holiday and we were gonna be barbecuing and drunk in various places, so it's like, hey, we have to postpone. And then there was Thursday. I don't want to talk about Thursday.
The day that shall not be talked about.
Yes, we're going to skip over Thursday. And then there was Friday. Friday was the day we went back and we did what we came in to do on Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, Friday worked out. It was actually a pretty good show, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I thought so. We had seen Ant-Man and the Wasp the night before on Thursday night at 6 o'clock, and we had originally meant to do a full-on additional episode last week as a way to like review the movie like straight out the gate, and then we had all those technical difficulties we were talking about earlier in this show. Thankfully, it's all sorted out, so we kind of like took both podcasts we were planning last week and basically crunched them together and had a solid 2-hour podcast, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, a little less.
Yeah, a little less. And we got to talking about all sorts of horror news like we usually do, and like dove into the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, and miraculously we really didn't go into spoiler territory. I thought we were going to, and we kept it clean and gave our thoughts. It was pretty good. And for anybody who's like on the fence about it, it's worth giving a listen if you haven't already.
Yeah, it's all spoiler-free, our discussion and overall review. You can also read my spoiler-free review on deadentertainment.com. So it's definitely, if you enjoyed the first one even a little bit, you'll like the second one. All right, let's see. So. All right, so we're going to start off with what is sort of going on for Friday into Saturday.
Yeah, let's hit that out the park.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, so basically, if you've been listening to the last couple of episodes, you will remember us discussing a possible really long stream we were kind of cooking up in celebration of Shudder's and Joe Bob Briggs' The Last Drive-In movie marathon starting on Friday night. Well, it would appear that we are going to go ahead and be moving forward with this.
Yes, I don't know if we specifically mentioned what this thing is going to be. We were just kind of like tiptoeing around it, and we finalized it finally.
Yeah, so well, Friday night starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Shudder Network, Joe Bob Briggs, who was the host of Monster Vision, for anyone who's familiar with Monster Vision from the 90s, if you're a 90s kid or adult, doesn't matter, they are doing a 24-hour horror movie marathon in the same vein as Monster Vision. So if you don't know what Monster Vision is or was, go look it up on YouTube. You can kind of get an idea of it. It was basically 1 or 2 horror movies on a weekend night, hosted by this guy, Joe Bob Briggs, and he would break in between the movie, and he would talk about the movie, and he would bullshit with guests, and he would get fan mail that the mail girl would bring into him, and he would do his drive-in totals, which were these kind of like funny tallies of all the weird things that happened in the movie. It was just a really, really fun way to spend your one of your Friday or Saturday night. And they decided, because it was so popular, and they had been talking about, possibly bringing back Monster Vision in some way. Well, this is what we ended up getting, a 24-hour plus horror movie marathon. It looks like we're going to get about 13 movies, and it's all going to be live. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm glad that something finally kind of came of this. I mean, there was rumors for months that like Monster Vision was coming back, or maybe a form of Monster Vision. So it was pretty awesome that we finally got some information finally. And like being the madmen we are, we're like, all right, well, how could we use this for our stream? How can we use it for the website? And as fans of Monster Vision, the both of us, we wanted to kind of like celebrate it in a way. And basically, we could think of no better way than staying up for 24 hours and watching the entire thing while broadcasting.
Yeah. And you wanted to believe it or not, we were not drunk when we came up with this idea.
No, surprisingly. I mean, this would probably be a drunk idea back in the day, but like it just the idea, we're like, what could we do? What could we do? Like, how do we even approach this thing? And I don't know. We just basically tripped upon the idea of like, let's do the whole fucking thing. If we can't figure out how to whittle it down a little bit, let's try to do everything.
Yeah, so it's a Herculean task for us, but it should end up being a pretty good time, if not an extremely exhausting and long weekend.
Yeah, especially after an extremely long and exhausting work week, and I'm just like, oh, I've really made a mistake agreeing to this. Come on.
I know. I'm sitting at my desk today in my office, and I'm like, what the fuck were we thinking?
I'm glad we're at least on the same page in that regard. Like I'm just like doing what I got to do at work, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm not gonna have a fucking weekend to myself. Like maybe I should take the first 2 days of next week off. Like.
So that is the plan. We will probably be starting a little before 9 o'clock just to kind of get ourselves sorted out, make sure everything looks good, sounds good. The setup and look is going to be different, which I probably am going to have to start to test tomorrow. I'm going to have to start setting up the microphones, and I'm probably going to set up 2 or 3 microphones around where we're going to be sitting, and just test to make sure the pickup is good and the acoustics are good.
Yeah, we got a little bit of stuff to work out. I have some ideas because I think we're going to be adding a visual element to this stream of ours, which, aside from Bates' webcam there and my still image and animated GIF, we haven't really done that yet. So I have thoughts, I have ideas, and hopefully we're going to make a nice little presentation and make it look good as well as sound good. And what we need now is you guys. We need you guys to tune in this Friday, like not just to our event, but we also want you to get the Shudder Network and watch the Last Drive-In with us. Like, we want you to hang out in our chat, their chat, and make this a big event. Even if you come in and you only watch 1 or 2 movies and then go to bed and then come back and check in, just keep checking in, keep sharing it with your friends. And the success of this thing is going to be based on fan interaction. And for 24 hours of us droning on, we're going to need that in order to stay awake and stay alive. So, we encourage as many of you guys to tune in to what we're doing this Friday and Saturday, and all the way up to Saturday night, and
into sort of Sunday morning a little bit.
Yeah, so like the more bodies, the merrier, and I mean that cleanly, not like we're gonna kill people, but so we need your support in this. We want you guys to come hang out and join in the fun or misery, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So we're going to have the chat obviously up. We're going to be able to monitor it all night. We're going to be interacting with you guys as long as you're in here hanging out with us. And as Mungus said, we want you guys to watch the event with us on Shudder. Now, Shudder is a paid subscription service, but you can get a free 7-week trial at any time. I actually think there's a code right now. I think it's Joe Bob or Joe Bob Briggs. is the promo code to get a free 7-day trial, so you can enjoy this event with us for free and don't have to worry about shelling out any money.
And on top of that, like, if you're a horror fan, if you enjoy watching or listening to what we do, or just watching horror movies in general and original films, you know, things that you love, obscure shit you've never seen before, Shudder has it all. And we're not being paid to fucking say this. We're legitimately fans of, you know, what they do. And the best part about it is, for a month, I believe it's $4.99 a month, which is, you know, half price of Netflix. So like it's already a benefit there. But if you sign up for the entire year, God, I sound like an advertisement. But if you sign up for the entire year, it comes down to $3.99 a month, which, I mean, you can't go wrong with like unlimited horror stuff that you're never ever going to get to. You know, like there's going to be so much of it that you can pretty much consume. So I mean, it's worth at least the $5 to sign up and participate in this weekend.
And we're also tossing around the idea of maybe if anybody wants to come in and chat with us for a bit with their, you know, voice chat, granting access to our Discord channel to have, you know, guests on bullshitting with us live while we're doing the event and hanging out and chat. Just something else we're kicking around.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that. I'm having a little trouble trying to figure out a call-in number, but I mean, we'll work that out. I definitely want some new voices in. I'm just going to try to get some people to come visit, you know, where we're recording, and you know, hang out with us. I believe one of the writers, or a few of the writers on our website, are going to pop in Discord and hang out for a movie or so. And on top of that, we're going to try to do some giveaways. I'm not going to tell you exactly what we're going to be giving away because I'm still deciding on what I want to give away. But I have some cool stuff in mind. So, you know, like we're thinking possible trivia contests, possible like creative things, you know, like, well, we're going to make this event as fun as possible, you know, because 24 hours is a long time and we're going to have to kind of like keep ourselves entertained too at the same time. So, you know, like we're going to make this fun. Be sure to check it out. We're going to have a post going up on deadentertainment.com tomorrow explaining all the details. I believe tomorrow. So just keep an eye on the site, and anything that you haven't heard here, you're going to find out there.
All right. So I think we got enough of our plugs in. We should really, you know, start the show, huh?
Yeah, I think so. You guys want to start it? Let's go.
All right. So, as usual, like with every week, we're going to go ahead and start with horror news.
It's all horror fiction, still a screen addiction. Cinematic gore and murder, it's horror fiction, not a fact prediction.
All right. Evil has no chance against Nicolas Cage in Mandy, a movie that's been getting quite a bit of buzz lately in the horror circles, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the trailer just got released last week, I want to say, and it's taking social media by storm.
Yeah. I actually didn't get to view the whole trailer. I got interrupted in the middle of it. But from what I saw, it's out there. And I'm a fan of Nicolas Cage. I like anything he's in. He just brings a sort of, I don't know, like aura or something to the shit he's in. It's just so drawing in. He just draws you in. Whether the movie's good or not, it's like, well, Nicolas Cage is in it. I kind of have to watch it. You know, it's just weird.
No, I know what you mean. Like at one point in time, I wasn't really a huge Nicolas Cage fan, and then I kind of started to see his genius, and just the fact that the projects that he takes on are like completely unpredictable. You never know what turn he's going to make, and you know, at times you're like, holy shit, Nicolas Cage has lost his shit. You know, like what was he thinking when he signed on to do this movie? And then there's times like Bringing Out the Dead, or in this particular case, Mandy, where you're watching this trailer and you're like, I can't think of a better person to play this main character.
I mean, I think we really first got a good glimpse of that in the fake trailer where he played Fu Manchu.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those really friggin' out there moments. But then he could like reel it in and perform like almost Oscar-worthy like performances. It's mind-boggling. Not to say Fu Manchu doesn't deserve an Oscar, because I personally think he does, but he's a very unique actor. I personally loved him a lot in Kick-Ass, where he was kind of like doing his best Adam West impression, and it was just, his character was amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got a draw that whether you like his movies or hate his movies, and trust me, he's been in some stinkers and some clunkers, but even like his bad movies are somehow enjoyable. Like the Wicker Man remake, it's so bad, but I don't know. Somehow it's like I can kind of sit through this. I don't know how, but I can. I can't sit through second Ghost Rider movie though. That is bad beyond words.
Yeah, I don't think many people did.
The first one I enjoyed, and I like it, and I'll watch it whenever it's on. But the second one is unwatchable.
Yeah, I don't even remember anything about the second one.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm just gonna take your word for that.
It was a complete mess.
Yeah, but he's a very unique actor, and a lot of people look at the casting of him as maybe like, oh, they're just trying to get a name in there or whatnot, but it seems like he takes all of his roles very seriously, and what he brings to the performance is like, best way to put it really is unique. So if you haven't seen this trailer, I'm gonna grab the link for it, I think, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. Give it a check, take a look at it. I believe it's like from a guy by the name of Panos Cosmatos. I probably said that really wrong, but this thing is gorgeous. Like the reds and the blues and everything that they use like remind me of Argento. Just the general style is very artsy, but it has, I can't even describe how this movie feels to me. Like it has a little bit of like Evil Dead remake going on in it, and a little bit of like out there like artfulness, of kind of like The Witch, and I don't know, it's got such a unique vibe to it.
Very cool. So you guys haven't checked that trailer out? Go ahead and check it out. It's I think this movie's definitely gonna make some big waves when it gets released.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
All right, moving on. So over the last couple weeks, we have been talking about the legal battle going on in the Friday the 13th franchise, and how because of this legal battle, that content all around, aside from toy makers like NECA and Sideshow, they have their own separate license, but anything else regarding movies, TV shows, and obviously video games, they are all put on a indefinite hold to where we can no longer get content. And we have discussed this at length regarding the Friday the 13th computer game, PlayStation 4, Xbox One game. And in case anybody was not aware, this also affects the Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle mobile game. And I believe that the creators of the game have just recently addressed this and has let everybody know that there really will not be any future content because legally they are not allowed to release anything new.
They are going to be releasing something slight. They basically had some plans to celebrate Friday the 13th like most Friday the 13th games would, with a little extra bonus content, and it seems that they're getting an update where you could obtain a Jason avatar for free by completing a special challenge. But as far as additional content goes, like Bates just said, they're kind of like frozen in stasis, like they can't move forward. And like, to me, that's really a bummer for this game, because it's a fun little puzzle game. Like, who would have thought we'd ever be in a position to be playing a cool little computer puzzle game with Jason Voorhees at the start, as the star. So it's like one of those situations where you're like, that's amazing that we even have that to begin with. But it feels to me like their life was so short because it just got released. And with this whole lawsuit probably going to go on for an extended period of time, it kind of marks the death of a lot of these, like, these productions, because they can't move forward because of it.
Yeah, just when things were starting to at least look up for fans of the Friday franchise, it's as quickly as it came, it's gone again, With this freeze on content everywhere, the computer game is dying a slow and agonizing death. Absolutely agonizing.
It was painful before, and then once we heard that content was basically going to be ended, and that's pretty much going to mark the lifespan of the game. I doubt we're going to ever see anything going forward unless they make a sequel, but who knows about that. But Jesus, like, who would have ever thought that we'd be at this point, worrying about a lawsuit that's halting these fun things for us?
Yeah, it's I've talked about it before, but it's just upsetting. I'm looking at a community hub right now for Friday the 13th on PC, and there's 331 people in game.
I don't blame them at this point, because they feel a little betrayed, from everybody. Victor Miller, Sean Cunningham, the game company, and it's like, why even continue playing if this is the case?
Is it possible that by some miracle, Victor and Sean, all parties involved, come to some type of agreement in the next couple months? Yeah, it's possible. But that doesn't mean that content would be restored, because the makers and the distributors and such of these games would have to work out new deals.
Plus, there's a risk. There's a risk from whoever's signing those paychecks, because it's like, if that could happen once, it might happen again. So why take that same chance?
Yeah, it's just a shitty situation to be in as a fan. Even more shitty of a situation to be in as a developer for one of these games. Think about all the time and money that they've already put into it, and they probably had plans, maybe a 2 or 3 year plan of all content coming in the future, and then all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, you can't do that, and you're just, you're stonewalled, can't do anything.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately, because there's been some leaked content related to the Grendel and the Uber Jason. And I think I take a look at some of that stuff and the pictures and video, and I think of the amount of man hours that it took to create that. And it probably was on the brink of being complete. More than likely, they heard rumors and whatnot coming down the pipeline that this was going to affect the game. So that's probably why they eased up on the gas. But all the same, a lot of time was put into developing that, from the earliest sketches to the actual game content that's could be seen and played. And all of that was for nothing, and on top of that, this is these developers' livelihood. They bring dinner home based off of this work, and now this game looks like it's pretty much going to be closing up shop because of it.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if maybe they shouldn't have accepted the IP offer to use, Friday the 13th back when the game was still titled Summer Camp.
I mean, you could go far back like that and debate apples and oranges, or what they should have and shouldn't have done. I think it was worth it, because it opens a lot of doors for people to do better and make sure that their contracts are airtight, both on the film side of it as well as the video game side of it. So, I mean, I think it's a lesson learned, and we got a pretty awesome game that we played for quite a while as a result of it.
Well, so it's just don't get your hopes up for any kind of resolution to this anytime soon. It's just not going to happen. And again, because of this is why we're not getting any new movie updates on the franchise. In fact, I wouldn't expect any kind of movie update for at least a year, maybe a year and a half, and I'm even being generous there. I don't see a movie in the pipeline anytime soon.
Yeah, and that was bad enough. And now we have to deal with this game situation stuff too.
All right, moving on to something more positive. Scream Factory announces Night of the Demons Steelbook Blu-ray release with a collectible Angela NECA figure. Wow.
We didn't rehearse any of these like times where we talk at the same time.
That's you know, Scream Factory does some nice things. I don't even know how else to even say it. They do some nice things.
Yeah, like I compared them to the Anchor Bay of modern day Anchor Bay as far as releases go. I used to be a very big movie collector. I still am to some degree. I'm running out of space. But no, like Anchor Bay was basically the company back in the 90s, 2000s that pretty much had your back on any of these releases. Like when you had the old VHS tape of the Day of the Dead and things like that, you just never had a good quality copy, and Anchor Bay brought a lot of these films to the DVD and eventually Blu-ray market, and they did pretty well by the fans. A lot of the stuff they released was very bare bones, you know, but the fact that you were able to own it on a better quality with better picture and remastered, you know, they were great in their time. Eventually they, you know, kind of dissipated and went off into the sunset. And that's where Shout/Scream Factory came in and basically took the kind of the blueprint of what Anchor Bay did and just kill it. They basically just killed everything as far as production quality goes. They make sure that the films look the best. They make sure that the prints are, you know, the original prints are remastered, as well as added soundtracks. You know, like for example, Return of the Living Dead didn't have their original music soundtrack from the theatrical version. They restored that into their Blu-ray release. Now they're adding posters and action figures to their collectibles. The steelbook, real nice printing on the case and everything. You know, the artwork is top notch. Special features are pretty much unmatched. You know, like they destroy the competition.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody who collects Blu-rays, or and it's obviously so much more than just a Blu-ray. It's a no-brainer. I mean, first of all, the movie's a classic, but when you're getting so much more in a great collection, a great Blu-ray collection, it's almost impossible to pass up if you're a Blu-ray collector. I actually am not. I used to collect DVDs, and they just take up way too much space. And I have actually not bought a DVD or Blu-ray. God, I don't know, many years. But I mean, this would be something I would consider simply just to have possession of that figure. So it's good stuff.
I like that wordplay.
Yeah, right. That was a happy accident.
Very much. I would think.
It's worth it in that aspect as a collector alone, just for the figure. But I mean, obviously, you're also getting a movie with a ton of extras and bonus content, all that good stuff that you want from a high-end collection like this. So
plus you get a screen print too. You get a poster of like the cover artwork, which is, I mean, you know how we are when it comes to posters. You know, it's amazing.
How big is the poster? 11 by 17?
Possibly. I gotta check. I'm not sure.
Well, regardless, you're getting a lot. What's the price on this thing?
Okay, so the price may come off a little bit expensive, but you're getting a ton of stuff. The price tag on it is $61. You're getting obviously the Blu-ray, which generally runs about $25 to $30. The poster and the Angela figure is limited to only this set, and it looks like it's one of their one of the ones that actually has real cloth and everything like that for clothing. So it seems like a more upscale version of the figure. I don't even think that this thing is going to be available after the fact either.
All right, good to know.
But like one thing from my perspective is like growing up watching this movie, did you ever think that you would own an Angela figure, or even not growing up, even like a week or two ago? Would you ever consider that this figure would ever be made?
No, I didn't think this movie would ever get a treatment like this, let alone a figure.
Yeah, this is like one hell of a red carpet, and being such a huge fan of the movie itself, it's just like, Jesus, you couldn't ask for a better collector's set. And you know, with everything that comes with it as far as special features, it's worth the price alone. And I think the release date is October 23rd, so right in time for Halloween.
Yeah, which is going to be should be a pretty good month. We should be getting some good movies in October.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be busy in Halloween, and I'm already started planning our October event, and we're gonna have some fun.
Right on, right on. All right. Let's see. Fox's The Exorcist TV series released on DVD through Amazon. Now, I'm guessing this is past seasons. The show got canceled, didn't it?
Yeah, the show got canceled after its second season, which we were, based off of ratings alone, we were lucky to get a second season out of that show. I think Fox brought it back because of the sheer response to the quality of the show. I've seen both seasons, and a lot of people say that the golden age of cinema right now is on television, and I'm starting to agree with all the quality television shows we've been getting. But for how many times the writers and the producers and such went back to The Exorcist well and got it wrong, I would have never expected that they would get it so right on a television series. And unfortunately, it didn't. The time slots were funky, and Fox didn't really believe in it 110%, and people just didn't turn on to it. Like the people that watched it really, really loved it, but the ones that weren't really interested, or were unaware of it, they just they basically stayed completely oblivious to it. I put this in the news because while this series is basically getting dumped onto, like a DVD release, it is absolutely worth your time to check it out on streaming or pick up the DVDs. Like, you'll be really surprised at how well the show was done.
Yeah, I never got into it. I think I saw the first episode and I actually liked it, and then I kind of just ended up forgetting about the show. But I'm going to definitely revisit it, just like I did with Bates Motel, and I loved that show. I mean, that show was amazing on every front.
Yeah,
so,
knowing you for as long as I have, you're gonna really dig The Exorcist. I completely say that 100%.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going through it. Thankfully, it's not a long series, so it won't take me too long. But I also have to, finish the last season of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'm just waiting for that shit to be on Netflix.
I was gonna ask you, did you finish Bates Motel?
I did.
Yeah, I really liked that last season. It was a solid way to wrap it up.
I had to wait until they put it on Netflix, but once they did, I binged it, and yeah, I was happy I didn't spoil it for myself.
Yeah, you're notorious for that, so I'm glad you didn't either.
I am. Because spoilers don't ruin anything for me. I mean, it'll take away a little shock and awe, but it doesn't ruin stuff for me. Typically I spoil most Marvel movies for myself. The only one I didn't do that for was Infinity War, and I am definitely glad I didn't.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I'm very old school when it comes to stuff. Like, I was raised to go to a theater, and once those lights dimmed, you keep your mouth shut. You don't fidget. You don't mess around. We talk about it in the car on the way home, and da-da-da. So, those kind of values, move on to the spoiler territory, and I'm just like, all right, I need to experience it. That's what we're going to these theaters for. I'm paying high prices for. We need that experience, that escape. So, I try to keep those spoilers out, and it's becoming more and more difficult to do because trailers basically put everything in them now.
Yeah, I've talked about this a couple times. I wish we could go back to the days of when trailers debuted in movie theaters in front of a movie, and they didn't come online, and they felt more impactful that way. You actually had to go out to a movie to see this trailer, and then maybe release a trailer online a week after it makes its debut in the movie theaters. I just wish we could go back to that, and I wish they would actually just start taking these trailers more seriously instead of just throwing everything in them. But to be honest, if you go back and you watch trailers for like 70s horror and exploitation movies, they were way worse.
Oh yeah, as far as spoilers went, they put everything in those things.
You saw every single death in gory detail in the trailers.
Yeah, I'm immediately thinking of the entire Friday the 13th series, as well as I Drink Your Blood. Like, they basically map that whole movie out.
And Cannibal Ferox.
Absolutely.
And
they were notorious about it. So I guess, I don't know what we're looking back so fondly on past trailers not doing it, but it seems like they might have been worse.
Yeah, no, they definitely were worse. They definitely were worse. And they were worse to the point where they just... They weren't trying to tell the whole story in the trailer like trailers today are. They were just like, oh, that's a great scene. All right, put that in the trailer. What is that, the end, the crazy twist ending? Yeah, let's put that in the trailer too. That's what the 70s were. If it was a cool-looking scene, it was in the trailer.
I'm picturing like the director from Glow, Mark Maron's character.
Yeah.
I'm like picturing him like directing that.
Yeah, did you watch season 2 yet?
Yes, I finished that like in a night.
All right, we'll have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. Probably like Friday on the stream. We're gonna have nothing else to talk about.
Yeah,
eventually.
Because I loved season 2, but I thought episode 8 was just almost unwatchable.
I thought episode 8 was great.
I knew you were gonna say that. I fucking knew you were gonna go against me on that one.
I always do.
You really fucking do. I'm watching it and I'm like, ugh, Ray is gonna love this schlocky bullshit.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting there watching that episode and I was just like, oh, I think I know what they're doing. Oh, they are doing that.
Yeah, I know what they were doing and I know what they were going for. I just don't think they did a good job doing it. It was just, oh god, fucking.
Save it for the stream on Friday. We're going to talk about Glow during the horror marathon.
Fuck. Alright, so... Yeah, so... definitely look for, if you were the fan of the Exorcist TV series, definitely look for it on DVD. On Amazon. I can't wait to actually finish the series. I only saw one episode, but I did like it.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a point in that series in the first season that's just you're gonna sit at wherever you're watching it and you're gonna be in awe over it. Your mouth's gonna be on the floor. Not spoiling it, but be prepared.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Now it's all right. So it's just the first and second season, obviously, right? That's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's pretty cool. All right. So, moving on into geek and comic news. All right, so Warner Brothers, the studio that just likes to just announce movies.
That's all they seem to be doing these days.
Has announced a movie.
Shocking.
Yeah, we are apparently getting some type of Joker origin movie that was been rumored for the last couple weeks, starring Joaquin Phoenix. And
He's finally signed this deal. He played coy about it for quite a while, but it seems like he inked it.
yeah, well, inking things with Warner Brothers doesn't really seem like it's all that, concrete nowadays.
Impactful.
Yeah, yeah, but the problem with this is just going to confuse people further than they already might be confused. Now, obviously, the hardcore fans will get it, but the casual fans are going to look at this and be like, all right, so there's a Joker on Gotham. There's
Correct.
Jared Leto in Suicide Squad, which is part of the DCEU. And now we're getting another Joker played by a different actor. Is it in the same universe? Is it a different what is going on? Why is there another character when we already had one 2 years ago?
Let's not forget that Jared Leto's supposed to be appearing in Suicide Squad 2, the Birds of Prey movie, as well as his own movie. Like, he's supposed to get a solo movie.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And I'm just like, I would argue with you back in the day and say, okay, fans are smarter than that. They'll get it. But I don't know who's running DC over there. Like, I want to be excited for all this stuff, but it just seems like they're throwing way too much shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah, what do they got? Yui Bowl freaking running things over there?
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know how to really feel about this movie and this announcement. Am I going to get excited? I mean, I'm not a DC fan anyway. I'm a comic book fan, and I like to see comic book movies do well. So, in that regard, am I going to get excited about this movie? No. I'm not going to get excited about this movie because the chances of this movie ever even happening at this point with, Warner Brother and DC's track record is very, very minimal. And even if it does get made, I do not think the quality is going to be good. Now, apparently, I think Martin Scorsese is on board to produce it or something.
Yeah, and I think that is going to make the quality significantly better than anything DC's output. Like, if it was me running situation, I would make sure this is the next one that gets filmed and kind of set the new tone, set the new standard. First off, I'd get rid of Leto. I'm willing to give the dude another shot, but Scorsese knows his movies. If he thinks he sees a Joker in Joaquin Phoenix, then so do I. So I would basically put this movie as the helm, like the leader that's going to forge the new path of where things are going to go. The talented Zack Snyder, if you will. But I would set the tone here with this movie and make sure that all the movies that they've announced, and Lord knows there are tons of them, follow this sort of suit, I suppose.
Well, my concern is with Martin Scorsese being on board is I think right now he's on board because he likes the idea and theory behind this movie. But I'm kind of worried that when he gets a script in his hand, his mood might sour.
But see, one thing that's kind of interesting to me is that I believe Todd Phillips, who's also set to direct, co-wrote the script with a person that what's her name? Emma Tillinger Koskoff. I guess I'm saying that right. But she co-wrote The Wolf of Wall Street. So that was a hell of a movie, in its own right. So to see two solid writing people team up for a movie like this, I think we're going to see something interesting. At least something that's going to appease Scorsese and what he expects of this movie.
Oh, is the script done?
Yeah, I believe so. I think this thing's going to be shooting this September, it looks like. So yeah, no,
I believe that when I see it.
They're going forward.
Well, again, I'll believe it when I see it. But here's hoping it happens and it's good and we get a good Joker again and not whatever the fuck Jared Leto was. Sorry, I
So
was
what-
not a fan. It was not a good movie, and I was not a fan of his portrayal.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I wish we got a little more of him to see him really stretch out, but I don't think he was very good. One last thing that I wanted to mention is that the price point on this movie is very modest. You know, it's aiming to be a $55 million production budget, and for a superhero movie, that is very grounded. You know, you don't get superhero movies that cost that much.
That's Deadpool money.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, you know, that as a result could keep that sort of like this obsession with being big and bad and blockbustery, you know, like they could keep that completely off the table and make a much more grounded movie, which that's what, you know, what's his name?
Chris Nolan.
Chris Nolan, yeah, there you go. That's basically what he did with those, you know, the Dark Knight trilogy. You know, he kept the things, you know, relatively grounded, and it eventually warranted more money because it was leading up to something bigger and more monumental. So I think this is a very good way to approach this movie.
Well, as I said, as a comic book fan, here's hoping that it works out and it turns out to be a good movie. Hopefully we get some kind of guide into where this fucking fits into this universe they've half-ass created. So
Yeah, I think it's probably just going to be standalone, to be honest. But you know, I think they should definitely hand out some sort of map, you know, at each showing.
yeah. All right. So is Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury in the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel titled Spider-Man Far From Home? Are we getting some Nick Fury finally? We got a little bit of him recently. Very
Just
little.
a taste.
Just a sprinkle, if you would, of Nick Fury.
Dash.
And apparently he's been spotted in, I want to say, England or London. Wherever they're filming Spider-Man right now, he was spotted somewhere within that vicinity. Now, it can't possibly be for Captain Marvel reshoots. That movie just wrapped up. Way too soon for Captain Marvel reshoots. And the only other thing shooting right now is the Spider-Man sequel.
Yeah, so it definitely makes sense that he's in it to some capacity. I doubt he's been walking on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anytime soon, so...
Yeah, I don't even think they're shooting right now.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's happening a little bit later.
So it looks like potentially we could be getting some more Nick Fury in our lives, which is great. I feel like they've been doing his character a disservice by not utilizing him more. It was nice seeing him pop up in most movies.
Yeah, I always felt that he was like that I guess that thread that bonded everything together. You know,
The
he was
glue.
the one that pretty much. Yeah, exactly. And furthermore, you know, a little evidence that he's going to be around anything, you know, related to Marvel. He posted a nice little Instagram picture of his business card, which I need a replica of as soon as possible.
Yeah, you think he hands those out on the Disney lot? He's just walking around and he hands out Nick Fury business cards that say "bad motherfucker" on them.
Like, I really hope that's what it actually says in the movie. I hope we see this in the movie, and that reference, you know, throwback to Pulp Fiction is there, because I seen this picture and I was like, wow, that is so awesome.
Yeah, I saw that and I was laughing. It put a nice smile on my face. But
I wonder if he has the wallet. You know, like if he takes this out of his wallet to hand somebody in the movie, do you think he has the bad motherfucker wallet too?
I bet you from Pulp Fiction, he probably does have that original wallet. I mean, that wallet
Right.
is his. Yeah, that can't possibly belong to anybody else.
Absolutely. I mean, like after that movie, you can't. Like nobody else could claim that move. That slogan, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just pictured Quentin Tarantino being like, I like this wallet, I'm going to take it. And Samuel L. Jackson having none of that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, he definitely has that on the shelf somewhere.
So I'm really hoping that it's not just some like little cheesy one-off cameo. I'm hoping that it actually is a significant role he's going to have in this movie.
Yeah, I hope so too, because we're at that point where we had a bit of a Nick Fury drought, and the times that he did appear, it was it was very minor. It's a minor capacity. I believe what was the last one he was in Avengers 2, as far as like a bigger role.
No, he just sort of showed up at the end of Avengers 2. He was in Winter Soldier a decent amount.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of the Winter Soldier. I don't know why I said Avengers. But
yes.
Yeah, no, I think we're at that point where we need him to help propel the story further. Spider-Man 2 is going to be coming after Infinity War, the sequel to Infinity War. So we're going to need something to set up that next arc, and I think who better.
Well, I'm wondering if he was getting fed up with not being in movies. You think he like marched into like Fahey's office and was like, "I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker. Every time my character is not in a Marvel movie, I'm Superfly."
I can picture him saying those exact words.
And then Kevin's like, "Oh, well, here, learn this. You're in the Captain Marvel script," and he was just like, "All right, motherfucker," and just turns around and walks out. That's more like it.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Honestly, like he probably was like I think contracts and shit are kind of off the table with a lot of these people. I know there's people that want to progress and move on from the series, but at this point, like whatever Kevin Feige calls him, I'm pretty sure that he'll be on board for whatever he's got lined up. But I think Nick Fury is necessary to keep continuing the story, and we're at that point where we're about to enter the next phase, and like who better to really kind of like usher in the new era than him?
Yeah, no, I can't wait to see his character get some love in Captain Marvel. I'm hoping he gets significant screen time in Spider-Man, and it's good to know that he's actually going to be in a couple movies coming up. I'm hoping he pops back up in Avengers 4. But, I mean, who knows how long it's going to take Avengers 4 to actually restore everyone who turned to dust. Which theories are saying they're not really dead. They've all just been brought to the Soul World within the Soul Stone. I don't know if I believe that, but
I came up with an interesting note that like what they're possibly going to do with the next Avengers movie, and I'm not going to keep it too long. I'm just going to like wrap it up pretty quick. I think this whole situation where everybody's quote unquote dead. Hey, spoilers. And everybody thinks that they're trapped in the soul realm, a soul stone and this and that. I think that is a method to get people to think that they're smarter than the writers. And what's ultimately going to happen is death is going to be restored. They're going to have the entire gang ready to fight. And I think they're going to slaughter some fucking people after that. I think we're going to be lulled into this, oh, I know how this is going to go, sort of sense, like false sense of security. And then once that's all lifted and we all realize, yeah, we were right. They were in the Soul Stone all along. Here they are to take out Thanos. I don't think it's going to be that easy. And I'm going to put my bets now, July 11th. I think we might see the entire original Avengers team fall. That's my theory right now.
Fall, but I don't think they'll be. I mean, I have this ridiculous theory that I'm going to be recording a video for once I stop being a lazy prick about it.
You little tease, you.
Yeah, I have this ridiculous theory on how the Avengers kind of turn the tides in facing Thanos. And now, I do not think this is going to happen. I think it's plausible. I think it could happen, but I do not think it is going to happen because it's kind of it's an out there theory. But you guys will see once I finally put this fucking video together. I got the script done, so it's just a matter of recording and editing everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed your last one that you made for our former channel.
Yeah, where I got pretty much everything wrong, and I was
everything wrong.
No, I think I got like one thing right. I don't remember what it was, but if I theorized 10 different things in that video, I got 9 of them wrong. Like not even close to being right.
That's half the fun of waiting for these movies, just like coming up with theories, trying to figure it all out, and it's good conversation. So even if they're all wrong, it was great to go through that.
And speaking of Infinity War, they have finally released. Well, not finally. I mean, I feel like the movie's still in theaters in some places. They released the Blu-ray special features. And I believe dates for when you can actually own Infinity War. It's
yeah, I'm looking for that right now.
I think it's like the end of the month.
Yeah, it should. It's come up way quicker than I thought it was. Like honestly, I'm kind of glad we're at that era where we have to wait 6 to 8 months for a movie to come out on home video because that's one of the reasons piracy is all the rage right now. Fans go and see this once or twice. They want to keep watching it. So what better situation than to rush the movie out? And by the looks of these special features, it's not rushed at all. We're getting pretty packed bonus material as far as that goes on digital and Blu-ray.
Yeah, we're getting like a little behind the scenes look at Thanos.
The Battle of Wakanda.
Battle on Titan.
A little bit more story on Titan, which is kind of interesting. A slew of deleted and extended scenes.
About 10 minutes worth of deleted and extended scenes.
And there's a digital exclusive, which I'm interested in checking out. It's a 32-minute directors roundtable. 8 amazing directors reflect on how their movies contribute to Marvel Cinematic Universe's larger storytelling. I've always been interested in this because the connected universe is unlike anything that we've ever seen before. We're witnessing cinematic history with this series. And I think it'd be cool to be like a fly on the wall, just kind of listening to the artists that made it possible.
Yes, and that Directors Roundtable is only available on the digital version of the movie. It's a digital exclusive bonus feature.
Yeah, it's definitely good. With the companies like Vudu around these days. I mean, why take up the space? When you could go digital and just keep it in the cloud.
I'm trying to find the date on this article here, and I'm not seeing. I know I saw the date. I swear it's the end of July.
Check it right now. August 14th. Wait. Digital hits HD. Digital HD hits on July 31st, and DVD and Blu-ray August 14th.
See, I know it. So there you go. If you did not get to see this movie in theaters, which is a crying shame, you at least don't have to wait too much longer to buy it on digital, to rent it, to whatever you want. You haven't seen the movie. See it. It is a cinematic experience unlike anything else I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't really say much else beyond that. I completely agree.
So to keep with the Blu-ray DVD release topic, Deadpool 2 super duper, I don't know, I guess fucking cut?
Yeah, I'm going to guess fucking.
So super duper fucking cut Blu-ray set is also set to be released on August 21st. So you only have about a month and a half to wait for that thing too. And what kind of special features are we looking at on that one?
Yeah, this one's packed as well. They went balls to the wall right out the gate with it. You got the gag reel, deleted scenes from first off, I missed the biggest sell of all, the fact that you're going to get an extended cut of the movie. I forget how much more is added to the whole situation, but it basically puts back some scenes that didn't make the cut to begin with, as well as stuff that was made exclusively for home video. So that's kind of fun.
And there is one deleted scene that is very, very interestingly titled.
Oh, yeah. Which one? Swollen Sexy?
Yeah, no. There is a deleted scene titled Chess or Playing Chess with Omega Red.
Oh, yes. And he is a character that was apparently deleted from the movie. So I'm interested to see where that's heading. Wolverine's dead. Maybe we'll get Deadpool facing him or X-Force. I don't know anything about the scene whatsoever, so I can't really talk about it. But shit, Omega Red being introduced. Ooh, let's do that.
Yeah, it's really funny because I'm not as big as a Marvel fan I am. I never really got into the X-Men that much, but since this boom of Marvel movies has taken over, since the original X-Men movies started getting released and the original Spider-Man movies and all that, there have been two villains I have been dying to see in a Marvel movie and have not gotten either one yet. One is Kraven the Hunter, one of my all-time favorite villains, and I have not gotten him yet. I'm hoping to get him soon. And the other one has been Omega Red, because Omega Red is just a ruthless character, and I thought he would translate so well to the screen. And it's just a character, again, we just have not gotten. We've gotten Magneto 14, 16 billion times, but I haven't gotten Omega Red yet. We got some weird version of Apocalypse. We got some odd version of Phoenix.
And another one coming.
We got one god-awful version of fucking Juggernaut.
And we got one fun version of Juggernaut in Deadpool 2.
We're getting all these characters. Hell, we even got the fucking Blob, but he wasn't even a villain in the movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm trying to forget about that.
Yeah. So I mean, we've gotten all these villains. Some even lower on the tier list in terms of villains, but we haven't gotten Omega Red, such an iconic Wolverine villain. Oh, and we got some fucking dumb version, despite me actually liking the movie, but a really dumb version of Silver Samurai. Another villain I was looking forward to that I just did not like.
I actually liked it.
I love the movie. I just thought the reveal of Silver Samurai was fucking stupid.
No, I could definitely appreciate that. I expected a little more about it, but it fit. It fit with the storyline as far as I was concerned.
I mean, why is every villain just got to be in a suit of armor?
Well, because he was in the comics.
Yeah, but all right, he was in like a fucking Ironmonger giant suit of armor. Silver Samurai was actually a samurai that happened to wear silver-plated armor in the comics, but he was actually a real samurai.
Yeah, no, I totally know that, but I guess they try to go those routes because they don't want it to come off super hokey, but at the same time, we're watching a guy with claws slash around, you know what I mean? So you're already in comic book territory, you may as well go all the way.
Yeah, it's, we're already suspending disbelief at this point. Just dive in.
Yeah, definitely agreed.
Just go balls deep. Who cares at that point, man? I mean, I get it. You got to alter costumes in some regards because there are just certain costumes that are just not going to translate well. And that's fine. I get that. Like, the Vision. Vision was a character I was looking forward to immensely in Age of Ultron. And I was kind of wondering, how is his costume going to translate? He's got a bit of a weird costume. Translated very, very well. Doctor Strange. I couldn't wait to see what they were going to do with Doctor Strange. Now, admittedly, I was really hoping that they were going to give him his giant popped collar. I didn't get that.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
I'm a little upset about that. But otherwise, costume translated beautifully. In fact, it might be the best looking Marvel costume next to Spider-Man right now in the MCU.
Oh yeah, it's up there, and yeah, I think this has to do with them having confidence in it. You know, like if you wear that costume and play it like it's a goofy looking costume, people are going to accept it as a goofy looking costume. But if you play that character stone cold serious and you know, flaunt it, you know, you make that character like make that costume seem like it's a normal everyday garb. And you know, if they believe it, the audience will believe it. And I think that's what's happening in the Marvel universe. You know, they're just like, oh, he's blue and yellow. All right, we'll put him in blue and yellow. It's gonna work. Fuck it.
Yeah. You know, as I said, it's just a matter of, like, I get it. Some costumes just not going to translate well. Like Scarlet Witch, her classic costume is not overly good looking, or appropriate rather. I thought it was like a fun costume, but you know, it's got the headpiece and the plunging neckline and all that good stuff, and that just wasn't going to look right. And you know, they obviously incorporated elements of the original costume into Scarlet Witch's future costumes, but you know, you can't just do a direct translation. That's what they're doing in Shazam, and I don't know if I like it. Like the costume looks like it's right out of the comics. I can't even argue that point. It looks straight out of the comics, and to that point, it does look very hokey, very cheesy.
It really did, especially in the behind the scenes photos. But the official photo that was released today, I'm
I saw it.
Digging it. It's. I was gonna put it on the news docket, but I don't know a hell of a lot about Shazam, so I didn't think I could really talk about it too much. But from what I'm seeing, you know, and what I know of Shazam, I don't know. It's heading in the right direction. It's going to be probably DC's like a more fun movie than they've released previously. So
yeah, well, obviously going the dark and stormy route in every movie has not done well for them, because they do not know how to tell those stories. So they probably just said, "Fuck it, let's go the complete opposite route and see what happens. They can't do any worse than we've done so far."
Yeah, that's a valid point. I mean, when you've got nowhere to go but up or stay where you're at, why not? You know, and I don't know. It looks like it's got a fun vibe to it. So I'm curious to see how it goes. The internet wasted no time making a dark and gloomy version of it to kind of mock Zack Snyder, which looks hilarious, by the way. But yeah, I'm digging that shot.
But to get back to the Deadpool 2 Blu-ray release, is anything special coming with that?
Yeah, they're releasing this really raunchy children's book that comes with the set. It's like a 24-page children's book that is definitely probably not for children. So it's the amount of love and care that gets put into these releases. You could tell, you know, they're fans of the stuff themselves. They want everybody to have like a great action-packed DVD, Blu-ray, whatever you want to call it, and you know, come away with something a little more than just the movie. So they make sure the special features are loaded, and on top of that, you can have this really probably terribly inappropriate children's book that come along with it, which can't wait.
Very cool. Before we jump into the next news piece, I just kind of want to go off script for a second. Something that we haven't put into our show notes that I just want to make note of. A couple days ago, we did lose a comic legend in Steve Ditko. So yes. I just wanted to give him his proper due and respect, and wish that he rests in peace, and that what he's brought to the world of comics will never be forgotten. His art style is extremely distinctive and special, and he is right up there with Stan and every other artist and comic creator. We lost a true great and legend in Steve Ditko, and I'm happy that he was able to see his Spider-Man creation really come to life in Captain America Civil War and Spider-Man Homecoming. Basically, the design of that suit is a direct... The direct inspiration came from Steve Ditko's Spider-Man design from, God, I don't know, the 60s. So, knowing that he at least got to see his creation come alive on the big screen in 2 great movies, it's awesome. I'm glad he got to see that before he passed on.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how much he's meant to the world of comics, and there's a lot of people that kind of, give credit here, credit there, on who did what as far as coming up with the stuff. But it's all a team process, and without his artwork, you would have never probably witnessed the cinematic universe that we're going through today. It's I don't know. I'm at a loss of words for what he kind of like put into it. It was an equal of part of writing as it was the art, and without one or the other, I don't think Marvel would have been the success it is today. We would probably not have the segment of the podcast, as insignificant as that is, but like what he contributed to the whole comic book world is paying off for many, and it has paid off for many, many years, and it's going to continue to pay off well into the future. And it just, I'm glad that he was able to see his creations come to life, and it's just sad to see him go.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange as well. He was an integral part in a lot of the early Doctor Strange comics, so he got to see a lot of that stuff come at him on screen, and probably freaked him out a little bit. But it all came out of his mind in the beginning, so maybe he felt right at home watching some of those trippier scenes in Doctor Strange. But everyone here, on the podcast, we definitely send our condolences to his family, and just want to say he will not be forgotten anytime soon, if ever.
Well said. Great note to end on.
So the last bit of news we have to cover is, this one kind of came out of fucking left field. I saw it earlier today. I was like, wait, what the fuck? And then I read more into it, and I'm like, the fuck? So apparently there is going to be another Robocop movie. It's going to be a Robocop sequel. Now you're probably thinking, oh, a sequel to that Robocop reboot we got a couple years back. The one Michael Keaton was in, right? Yeah, no. Apparently, if I'm reading this correctly, this is going to be a direct sequel to the original Robocop movie.
Yeah, they're ignoring all the sequels that came after it by the sound of it.
Which is silly, because Robocop 2 was a pretty good movie.
Agreed. 3, I don't remember much, but I remember it was nowhere...
No, 3 was garbage. 3 was...
Nowhere, yeah.
3 was... Robocop 3 was on the same level as fucking Rambo 3. That shit is just instantly forgettable. Just forget they exist. But Robocop 2? That's a good movie. You don't stricken that shit from the timeline. Just like when this Halloween sequel got announced, and they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to pretend part 2 never happened.
I can appreciate that because it kind of condenses the type of stuff that they have to reiterate or kind of translate into the sequel. They don't have to cover as much ground this way.
Yeah, but you know what? For Halloween especially, that pissed me off because you're taking out another massive movie of Donald Pleasance in this universe. which I find offensive. But aside from that, it's not like they had a whole lot more ground to cover there, considering that Halloween 2 takes place seconds after Halloween 1 ends.
I was more referring to RoboCop, but I totally see what you're saying.
Yes, RoboCop. Now, taking out the RoboCop sequel is nowhere near as upsetting as the Halloween, removing Halloween 2 from the timeline, because RoboCop 2, I guess it takes place a significant amount of time after RoboCop 1, but again, it was a good movie. I don't know. I guess at the end that they already have a script and a story laid out to where if they tried to follow RoboCop 2, it just was not going to work into the plan that they have. And I get that. It's just, I wish they could have found a way to avoid having to remove the sequel. But it is what it is. It's going to be interesting to see who they get to actually play RoboCop.
Yeah, depends on when it's going to take place. If it's far in the future, let's get Peter Weller back.
Yeah, we recently saw him at a convention, a year or two ago. He was at Monster Mania, and I walked by his table. I didn't meet him, but I walked by his tables a couple times, and at least do the fucking voice, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. And he's recently been in the Sons of Anarchy television show, and was a hell of a character in that. He's still got his acting chops, and I have no doubt in my mind that he could put on that armor again.
Yeah, no, I mean, when I saw him about 2 years ago, he looked like he was in pretty good shape. He was, I mean, I could see that. Again, maybe not donning the armor, but at least giving us the voice. I mean, let's be honest. At the end of the day, RoboCop is a voice. That's an iconic voice, man. Agreed.
And what they did with the remake was trying to superhero it up a little bit, give it a little PG-friendly attitude, and it didn't work. It didn't translate at all. So I like that they let it sit for a little bit. They let it cool off for a bit, and now they're seemingly going to be treading down the same sort of path that the original went. And a lot of people may not remember it, but the original RoboCop, especially the director's cut, is
fucking dark and gory.
Dark, gory, it is like borderline exploitation in certain ways, especially for a movie like that.
Yeah, Red Foreman is a dick in the original RoboCop.
Bitches leave. Oh man. Yeah, no, I wish his character didn't die, because I'd say bring him back too. I'd love to see old Red Foreman in there playing Clarence Bodiger again.
I like this idea, considering I had this idea years ago, but I like this idea of these classic franchises getting sequels to their original counterparts. Obviously, we're getting it with Halloween. We're getting a new Halloween 2. Still not exactly on board with that, but it's okay. We're getting a new RoboCop 2. We're also getting a new Terminator 3. The new Terminator movie is actually going to be a direct sequel to Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So, and again, this is an idea I had years ago for the Friday the 13th series. And,
yeah, I remember that.
And it's great that they finally started thinking outside the box and realized, you know what, we can go back and just retcon everything. Just take these movies out and let's just take a different path now. There was no reason that they couldn't be doing this years ago with some of these movies. So it's nice to see that they're finally thinking outside the box and using an idea I had a very long time ago. I think it's really cool. I'm looking forward to a lot of these things. Looking forward to it more than asshole studios remaking franchises that are still thriving and popular.
Ooh, that's shade.
But I already went on that rant.
Yeah, I think that was last episode.
Yeah, it was last episode.
But yeah, I'm so on board for this. I'm excited to see what what kind of world we're living in. I'm really hoping that the world that RoboCop was policing back then, like we're just like 30 years later, and it's so much worse. They need to recapture that dystopian hell, that was kind of like hinted at throughout that movie, but it was, I don't know, it's just the vibe is unlike anything else. But I think that they got a good batch of people on board. It seems like the original writers of the first RoboCop movie are on board for producing and executive producing, and as well as one of the writers from the new Terminator movies. So that's a good sign. And he's very controversial as far as whether his movies are good or bad. Mostly the stories are more criticized, but Neil Blomkamp is a visionary director. Like I'll fight whoever tells me otherwise. But almost everything that I've seen of his has been like way ahead of its time, visually impressive, and I can't think of another person that'd be better suited to take on this kind of RoboCop world than him. He's just a fantastic talent. I would have loved to see him tackle the Alien franchise, but this is a damn good replacement.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep your eye on in the coming months. Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I think we've touched on everything that we wanted to touch on. Thank you for anyone who is here watching live with us. Appreciate it. Thank you for anyone who watched afterwards. Appreciate that too. If you like what you heard, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in every week. You can also follow us on Twitter at DeadEnt, ENT site. And like us on Facebook at facebook.com/deadentertainment. You can also follow me on Twitter at Bates_MotelMT. And you can check out my gaming YouTube channel, Live Deliciously in Game. I currently have a pretty cool giveaway going on that will end up getting postponed or extended if I don't get a couple more entries in before the deadline. So check that out and just watch the giveaway video to find out how you can enter and get into a chance to win a Gray Matter Art beautiful Prometheus print. Yeah. What do you got, Mung?
Well, speaking of Gray Matter Art, they have a really, really kick-ass Army of Darkness print that's coming out very soon. We just posted an article on it today on Dead Entertainment, so head on over there now that the podcast is over. Check out that article, and if Army of Darkness Evil Dead franchise is your thing, without a doubt, go and buy that shit, because they produce incredible artwork. I mean, if you've listened to any one of our shows, you know how much how big of fans we are regarding them. If you don't, well, go take a look at their website. I think it's graymatterart.com. Search Gray Matter Art in Google and you'll find it. And you can follow me on Twitter at Ray Mungus. And the last thing, make sure you are tuned in for our show on Friday. Right now we're calling it Watch Till We Drop, because we might die during this. Maybe not. Hopefully not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go out and load up on, I guess, like Red Bulls. I'm all out of balls, unless I make a special trip over to Micro Center and I can pick up a couple cans. But otherwise, we're gonna have to just load up on some Red Bulls and stuff, and just have a nice safe
cracking out the monsters.
Yeah, have a safe mixture of energy drink and beer.
And water. We need to stay hydrated. We're going to be talking a lot. I mean, like 24 hours. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I need to get some people over there.
Yeah, we're going to need some people to help break that up, because I am afraid that by Sunday we're not going to have any voice left.
It's going to be interesting. We definitely need Bates and Mungus understudies, so we should like comically dress them up like we are and just like let them sit there. Like when we go outside the barbecue or something.
Yeah, just some stand-ins. I mean, maybe we just get some blow-up dolls or something and just put them in the love seat.
Oh, this is getting sexy. Oh boy! All right, so yeah, tune in this Friday. We're probably gonna jump on air around 8:30. The very beginning of the stream, we're just gonna get our get our
Bearings.
ducks in a row, and
Yep.
then then we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. Tell your friends, bring yourself, just bring whoever, man. I don't care if you pay people, just do it.
Yeah, I think after we sign off here, I think I'm gonna start just maneuvering things around and start setting up the microphone setup, and maybe I'll even test it tonight, because tomorrow I'm gonna have to do a couple other things to get ready for this event. So,
All right. Well, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an experiment. Probably the last of its kind, unless we have a cool angle to do next year if they do it again. Well, we'll see. It's an experiment where you're going to join us on that.
well, I was also thinking, if this actually turns out to be like a really fun event, and we actually get some viewership and get some interaction, this could be something we could do as like a special live commentary. Instead of us watching movies separately, we could actually do, gather together again and do it in this particular format for, future special live commentaries. Obviously not everyone, but...
Oh, yeah. I've been wanting to do that for a while, and we've been kicking around possibly transitioning the live commentary thing into kind of a movie night thing, or maybe an additional show as a result of it. So this thing is only going to open doors to different creative outlets, and if all works to plan, we're going to have at least a handful of new live commentary podcasts that we can edit down and upload here on the channel individually. So we're going to get some stuff out of it, regardless of who shows up and how exhausted we are. So yeah, go team.
All right, so guys, thank you so much again for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you subscribe, like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And make sure you tune in to this channel Friday between 8 and 8:30. And just get ready to just enjoy yourself, hang back, have fun. Make sure you subscribe to Shudder for your free 7-day trial so you can watch the event with us, so you know exactly what we're talking about and referring to and all that good stuff. Something you don't want to miss. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I hope to see a lot of you there joining us and hanging out and just enjoying this awesome event with us. Anything else left? Anything else you got to say?
And remember...
What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.